Buddhāvataṃsaka Sutra. Book 25. 10 Dedications. Video 14. What is Great Enlightening Being's dedication with the character of true thusness? Here enlightening beings' correct mindfulness is clear and perfect, their mind is firm and stable, they get beyond confusion, and cultivate practice single-mindedly, their profound mind unstirring, accomplishing indestructible works, proceeding toward omniscience without ever regressing. They are determined to seek the great vehicle, bold and fearless. Planting roots of virtue, they bring peace to the world, producing excellent roots of goodness and cultivating pure qualities. Their great compassion grows, their mind treasure develops. They always remember the Buddhas and preserve the true teaching. Their belief in the path of enlightening beings is firm and enduring, they perfect immeasurable pure roots of goodness, diligently cultivating all virtues and knowledge. As spiritual guides they produce myriad good principles, dedicating their knowledge and skill in liberative means to the salvation of others. At such a time enlightening beings examine all roots of goodness immeasurable, boundless, with the eye of wisdom, those roots of goodness, in the course of being cultivated and gathered, involve seeking conditions, preparing instruments, purification, orientation and involvement, concentration and extort, initiation and execution, clarification and understanding, refined examination, and explanation. Thus all have various facets, various spheres, various characteristics, various phenomena, various proportions, various acts, various names, various distinctions, various productions, various practices. All the roots of goodness therein are established by the mind directed toward the vehicle of the 10 powers, and are all dedicated solely to the knowledge of all means and sciences of liberation. The roots of virtue they dedicate in this way, they vow to attain complete, unobstructed action to carry out enlightening practices. They vow to attain pure unobstructed speech, to carry out enlightening practices. They vow to attain fully developed unobstructed mental action and abide in the great vehicle. They vow to attain complete, unobstructed minds and purely cultivate all practices of enlightening beings. They vow to develop minds of infinitely magnanimous generosity and provide for all sentient beings. They vow to master all the teachings and spread the light of the great teaching, which nothing can veil. They vow to arrive at the realm of universal knowledge, illumining the world with the will for enlightenment. They vow to always correctly remember the Buddhas of past, present, and future, always clearly picturing the enlightened present before them. They vow to live by fully developed powerful aspiration and get away from all demons and enemies. They vow to attain stabilization in the 10 powers of knowledge of Buddhas and teach all sentient beings ceaselessly. They vow to attain concentration and travel through the worlds without being affected by or attached to the worlds. They vow to live in the world unwearied and always edify and influence sentient beings. They vow to activate innumerable liberative techniques of thought and wisdom and accomplish the inconceivable path of enlightening beings. They vow to attain knowledge never confused in any place, able to distinguish all worlds. They vow to attain the power of knowledge of autonomous spiritual capabilities, able to purify all lands in a single instant. They vow to penetrate the intrinsic nature of things and see all worlds as pure. They vow to develop knowledge of non-differentiation, entering all fields in one field. They vow to reveal all the adornments of all fields to edify and influence infinite sentient beings. They vow to show the boundless cosmos in a single Buddha field, and to do likewise in all Buddha fields. They vow to attain free psychic powers and spiritual knowledge and be able to travel to all Buddha lands. By means of roots of goodness, great enlightening beings vow to accomplish the adornment of all Buddha lands. They vow to be able to pervade all worlds. They vow to accomplish contemplative investigation by knowledge. As they thus dedicate roots of goodness for themselves in this way, so also do they do so for all sentient beings. That is, they vow that all sentient beings become forever free from hell's animality and ghosthood. They vow that all sentient beings get rid of all hindering actions. They vow that all sentient beings attain universal minds with impartial knowledge and wisdom. They vow that all sentient beings deal with opponents and friends impartially, causing them all to be secure and happy, their knowledge and wisdom pure. They vow that all sentient beings' knowledge become fully complete, with pure light illuminating everywhere. They vow that all sentient beings' wisdom from reflection be fully developed and that they understand the real truth. They vow that all sentient beings seek enlightenment with pure aspiration and attain immeasurable knowledge. They vow that all sentient beings will be able to reveal their abode of peace. Great enlightening beings always dedicate their goodwill in this way, to cause all sentient beings to encounter the cloud of pure coolness showering the rain of truth. To cause all sentient beings to always encounter the excellent environment of fields of virtue, to cause all sentient beings to be able to enter the treasury of the spirit of enlightenment and preserve it themselves, to cause all sentient beings to shed all veils and live properly, to cause all sentient beings to attain knowledge of unhindered spiritual faculties, to cause all sentient beings to attain free bodies appearing everywhere, to cause all sentient beings to achieve supreme knowledge of all ways of liberation and bring about unfailing benefit, to cause all sentient beings to purify all creatures, to cause all sentient beings to be able to consummate universal knowledge, to cause all sentient beings to be unshakable and unobstructed in mind. Great enlightening beings, seeing delightful countries, gardens and groves, plants, trees, and fruits, distinguished scents and excellent clothing, rare jewels and goods, various decorations, or seeing delightful villages, towns, or hamlets, or seeing the majesty of sovereigns, or seeing abodes free from clamor, employ their knowledge of means and diligently cultivate innumerable sublime virtues, earnestly seeking good for the sake of sentient beings, never slacking off, widely gathering much good, vast as the ocean, and cover all with infinite good, being bases of myriad good things, expediently dedicating roots of goodness without discrimination, pointing out infinite various roots of goodness, always knowingly observing all sentient beings, their minds always remembering the realms of roots of goodness. They ceaselessly dedicate to sentient beings roots of goodness as impartial as true thusness. At such a time, they dedicate the roots of goodness in this way. May all sentient beings attain the delightful visions of the enlightened, see the true nature of things, equal and impartial, without any grasping or attachment, complete and pure. May all sentient beings see the most delightful, perfect offerings of the enlightened ones. May all sentient beings be reborn in all the most delightful pure Buddha lands, free of all afflictions. May all sentient beings manage to perceive the most delightful teaching of the Buddhas. May all sentient beings always happily preserve the pleasing practices of all enlightening beings. May all sentient beings acquire the enjoyable eyes of the wise and see without obstruction. May all sentient beings always see all pleasing things, nothing obstensive. May all sentient beings realize all delightful truths and diligently preserve them. May all sentient beings attain pure illumination in the pleasing teachings of all Buddhas. May all sentient beings cultivate all the delightful attitudes of generosity of enlightening beings. May all sentient beings attain fearlessness and be able to expound all admirable teachings. May all sentient beings attain the enlightening being's extremely delightful most profound concentration. May all sentient beings attain the enlightening being's most pleasant methods of mnemonic spells. May all sentient beings attain enlightening being's most admirable analytic knowledge. May all sentient beings be able to manifest enlightening being's most delightful autonomous spiritual powers. May all sentient beings be able to expound the pleasing most profoundly wonderful teaching in the great congregations of the Buddhas. May all sentient beings be able to skillfully analyze and explain the most pleasing expressions of differentiation. May all sentient beings always be able to activate most pleasant impartial great compassion. May all sentient beings in every thought activate the most admirable aspiration for enlightenment, always causing their senses to be joyful and blissful. May all sentient beings be able to enter all the most pleasant houses of the enlightened ones. May all sentient beings achieve the admirable action whereby they are able to harmonize and pacify, taming sentient beings unceasingly. May all sentient beings attain the most pleasing inexhaustible eloquence of enlightening beings, expounding all truths. May all sentient beings abide for unspeakably many unspeakable numbers of eons in all pleasant worlds, teaching and transforming sentient beings without wearying. May all sentient beings, by means of innumerable techniques, be able to understand and enter into all the most delighted teachings of the Buddhas. May all sentient beings attain delightful unobstructed liberative techniques and know all things have no basis. May all sentient beings attain the delighted realm of freedom from greed and craving, know all things are ultimately non-dual, and cut through all barriers. May all sentient beings develop the delightful way of enlightening beings which is free from inanity. May all sentient beings attain the diamond mind of effort and accomplish the delightful path of universal knowledge. May all sentient beings be endowed with delightful unobstructed roots of goodness and destroy all afflictions. May all sentient beings find the delightful door of omniscience and realize true awakening throughout the world. When great enlightening beings cultivate such roots of goodness, they gain the light of knowledge. They are taken into the care of good teachers. The sun of wisdom of the Buddhas illumines their minds, forever annihilating the darkness of ignorance. They diligently practice the true teaching, enter into works of knowledge, and learn the stages of knowledge. They spread roots of goodness, filling the cosmos, dedicating them wisely. They plumb the depths of the source of enlightening beings' roots of goodness. By means of knowledge they enter deeply into the ocean of liberative means and develop immeasurably great roots of goodness. Great enlightening beings dedicate these roots of goodness in this way. They do not cling to the world, they do not grasp sentient beings. Their minds are pure, not relying on anything. They are correctly mindful of all things and dismiss discriminatory views. They do not give up the independent wisdom of all Buddhas. They accord with all impartial truths, and do not destroy the Buddha's true characteristics. They do not deviate from the correct way of dedication of all Buddhas. They look upon the triple world equally, without any image of sentient beings. They follow the path of Buddha well and explain its principles well, with profound understanding of their meaning. They enter the supreme stage and awaken to the real truth. Their knowledge is complete, their faith is firm. Though they practice correct actions well, they know the nature of action is empty. They understand all things are like phantoms, and know all things have no intrinsic essence of their own. They observe all meanings and all kinds of practices according to their conventional explanations and are not attached to them. They abolish all causes and conditions of grasping and clinging. They know the truth and see the nature of all things being null and void. They comprehend that all things have the same unique real character. They know the characteristics of things are not mutually opposed. They live with enlightening beings and practice their path. Taking all sentient beings into their care, they enter the door of dedication of all enlightening beings of past, future, and present. Their minds are not startled or frightened by the Buddha's teachings. With minds of boundless kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity, they cause all sentient beings to attain purity. In the worlds of the 10 directions, they do not develop selfish, possessive grasping and clinging. They do not conceive of anything in the world. They do not give rise to obsession with any objects. They diligently practice all ways to transcend the world and have no attachments to or reliance on any mundane realm. Their insight into the profound, wonderful path is accurate and steady, and they are rid of all erroneous views. They understand the real truth. Continue to video 15.